What's your coping strategy for dealing with grief and loss? It's like most people that I know, it essentially looks like stuff that shit in a box and put it away and get busy, get stuff done, get back to work, go, do. I'd like to offer a different strategy. Hi, my name is Heather, and I'm a 20-year first responder turned holistic health nurse coach, and I'm here to support and inspire you to take better care of yourself, also leading the campaign sabbaticals for first responders. If you like this vibe, follow me for more. If your bereavement plan is like the ones that I've had where I've worked, you get 3 8-hour shifts or 24 hours of bereavement time off. That's not a lot of time. I mean, depending upon your shift schedule, you might get a whole week out of that, or you might get a partial week out of that. And then, you got to go right back at it. Put that shit away, put it in a box, and get back to work. Compartmentalize, ignore it, push those feelings down. You can see how the strategy could be highly suboptimal. And when I say highly suboptimal, what I'm really saying is sucks ass. To personalize this a little bit more, I will say that I just returned home from being away from home for over 3 weeks. First week was a meditation retreat, and the last 2.5 weeks was where I was supporting my brother who had entered into hospice and then died. So let's just say I was still employed, I would be having bark alert. So to be able to have 2.5 weeks to spend with a loved one that is in hospice and is going through the active process of dying, you'd either have to be an entrepreneur and set your life up in that way that you can just take that time, or use up all your PTO, or apply for FMLA if you're eligible for it. And that has requirements that you have to be full-time. You have to have a certain number of hours. You have to have been there for over a year usually. And a lot of times we don't have all that criteria met. And come on, let's face it, like, I was there for his last couple weeks of life, and then I stayed an extra, 5-6 days where it's like, all right, celebration of life, deal with the cremation, deal with logistics, cleaning out your loved one's apartment or home or whatever, and there's just so much to do. The act of actually processing the experience and seeing and feeling those feelings and letting them flow and release doesn't really happen in that time frame. Like, we need more spaciousness. So it'd be so easy to come home and just get my to-do list out, go right back into action, like push those feelings down and get into do mode. So I got home. The very next day, I ended up with a terrible headache. And through self-awareness, slowing down, I realized that was part of an injury pattern that I had otherwise, for all intents and purposes, released. And through meditation, awareness, having been, doing this work, I realized that I was possibly re-inviting that back in. It was essentially felt like it was a test of self-awareness of like, can you realize you're about to fall into old patterns? And when you find yourself falling into old patterns, then what do you expect is going to happen in the future? Yeah, the same shit that was happening before that resulted in you needing to slow down and getting injured. So I'm going to try something different this time. I am actually going to take some time for myself. I am going to slow down to go fast. I'm going to trust that the universe has my back and take a few days and go backpacking, get into the mountains, get close to where I feel connected to source, the universe, where I get to be on my own, hiking, moving my body, being in nature, being in the mountains, and just feeling, and let those feelings flow. I'm going to try this out, and I'm going to try it with some balance, because historically I'm like an all or nothing. I'm like, doing 6 months and I'm doing the entire 2,653 mile PCT for my sabbatical, my mental health break. And there's a part of me that like really wants to just take 2 or 3 weeks and hike the Tahoe Rim Trail. But I'm going to see if I can do this with some balance. And so I'm just putting it out here, sharing my process with y'all. because I really do want to honor myself, honor my brother, honor my process, and allow some more grieving to happen. And I also want to honor the work that I've invested in my business and not just let that drop, so that I can still see my coaching clients that I'm seeing and continue to cultivate and create content here on TikTok and invite in whatever comes, whatever abundance will come, whatever experience will come. If you'd like to consider trying this next time you need to grieve a loss, write in, I honor my process. That's right, I honor my process. I honor my process. That's what I'm going to do. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for being here, y'all. If you like my stuff, please go back to my main profile page, watch some of my other content. I have a couple really good videos where I described the act of guiding my brother home as he died in the last few weeks, and also how I believe meditation can be a profound alleviator of suffering, fear, and anxiety around death and dying.